ध्यानम्। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीरोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः ते पीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैः स्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
धन्यवाद नव्या। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। भगिनी मंजरी भगिनी कृपया
धन्यवाद भगिनी. Welcome all to English sessions of Bhagavad Gita class. So last week we have done 40 shlokas. So we have to start from 41st shloka today. So last week the 40th shloka was Indriyani mano buddhihi asya adhisthana uchyate. Asya means we were discussing about kama, the desire. So Krishna says that, so where this kama, no, so where it stays in our body, what is the residence or dwelling place of this kama? So that is our Indriya, Manas, and Buddhi. So these are the Ashraya sthanas for the Kama, the seat of Kama, it is said as. That is Indriyas, the sense organs, Manaha, mind, and Buddhi is intelligence. So these are the seats of desire. What kind of desire it is? Mohayati jnanam avrutya dehinam mohayati. So what it does? So it covers the wisdom, and through these seeds of desire, it dilutes the vimohayati, it dilutes the ignorant. So we have seen that this kama is like a visha krimi. It's like a virus or bacteria or a germ that causes diseases. So, like how the mosquitoes causing malaria, we say that they grow in stagnant water, and where there is cleanliness is not there. So there all these things will develop. In the same way, in our own body, this indriya, manas, and buddhi, they will give shelter for this kama. They will nourish, they will nurture, and they will take the responsibility of growth of these vishakrimis called as kama, which gets multiplied very soon, so which grows in multiple folds. So our own indriyas and our own manaha and our own buddhi are the seeds of desire, says Krishna. So then what to do for that? So in 41st shloka, Bhagini, kripaya shlokam pathatu.
अस्तु महोदय।
41st
ॐ
one.
ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः। तस्मात् त्वमिन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ, आत्मानं प्रजहिह्येनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्।
Dhanyavada, Mahodaya. So, in the previous shloka, we have seen that our own indriyas, buddhi, and manas are seeds of this desire. So, here this desire gets multiplied in our indriyas, in our buddhi, and in our manas. So, what to do for that? How to control, how to stop these endless desires that are so harmful? So, how to control those things? So, Krishna says in this shloka, Tasmat, therefore, thou, the first and foremost thing that you have to do is, hey Bharatarshabha, hey Arjuna, what you should do to control this desire, what you should do, thou first, Indriyani Niyamya. So have control over the senses, Indriyani Niyamya. Papmanam, the sinful. Enam, he enam. Enam means this. This means we are discussing about the desire, about the kama, harmful desires that damage our physical and mental health. We are talking about that. So he says enam, that desire, that kama, and he gives an adjective for that, jnana vijnana nashanam. What it does, what that kama does, it destroys knowledge. And here jnana means knowledge, and vijnana means realization or wisdom. So this kama, one, the which is the destroyer of jnana and vijnana, which is sinful, so that kama prajahi, hey Arjuna, you kill that kama, because it destroys jnana within you. It is so sinful. So how to kill that kama? Adau indriyani niyamya. First thing that you need to do is control the senses. Why first thing is control the senses? Krishna says, because these indriyas are like the front doors. It is through these doors we get all the materialistic things, that is rupa, rasa, gandha, sparsha, shabda, all these things we get through the sense organs, no? So he says that this is like a front door to the house. So then what we should do, like a house, suppose it is a duplex house, then we'll be having uh, uh, per floor two doors, and suppose one balcony is there, then four five doors. So like that, all our jnanendriyas are the outlets, the doors through which all these harmful things we take inside. So what Krishna says, adau tani niyamya, first thing is you shut that door. So first thing is stop the incoming desires, the new desires. So by seeing something, wish to have it, by listening to something, by touching something, so which are harmful. So if you wish to have, that is, at least stop the new inlets. And then next, what we should do? Only then, already we have accumulated so many thoughts within us. Already kama is there within us. Already desire is there within us. So first thing is, let us stop the new arrivals, and then slowly deal with the things that are there already within. So that's what he says, that the indriyas are called as sthulas, that are visible, and mind is called as sukshma, so subtle. So it is actually easier to control the indriyas than the mind, because indriyas, one day with little difficulty one can stay without eating anything, or stay without doing anything wrong, like eating junk food it may be, or suppose a person is addicted to alcohol or cigarettes or anything. So with one day with some difficulty he can leave that, but it is difficult to leave it by manasa. It is the manas which makes him to do wrong things. So suppose if we ask the mind to stay away from the negative thoughts one entire day, it's very difficult, because mind is still more powerful than the indriyas. So it is mind orders and indriyas start working. That's why mind is the master for the indriyas. So it's very difficult to stay away from negative thoughts for one day, but we can stay away from doing wrong things for one day. So because the indriyas are the uh, stula, visible things, and manas is invisible. That's why Krishna says, first adau indriyani, you control the indriyas, which is easier. So first you do that, and then what happens once you close the door, once you stop the new arrivals, new desires, new karma, then you should deal with the one which is within, even though it is difficult, because you are not getting anything new inside. So because the inside things are not getting any encouragement, any food, then slowly that asha dries up. Like suppose a person, if he controls his sense organs, if he controls his senses, and somehow he manages to stay away from alcohol or any addictions, so after 15 years, 20 years, even if alcohol is kept in front of him, that desire is dead within him. So like that, so many habits. So forcibly by stopping it by the indriyas, so if the person practices, so after many years, so that desire is killed from within, the karma is killed from within by practice. That's why what Krishna says is, first the thing is we have to control the indriyas, and slowly we should deal with the manas. And then he says jnana vijnana nashanam, he called this kama as the destroyer of jnana and vijnana. Jnana is something which says which is right or wrong, to know it intellectually, and Vijnana is experiencing that. That is realization, is Vijnana. Vijnana means to experience. One is theory, and the second one is experience. So, why it becomes so difficult for us to stay away from these desires? Because uh, we don't know there is something called as indriya tita atindriya. So so there may be a question, like if all the sense organs or senses are controlled, then from where we will get happiness in the life? So that may be the question. So there are two answers for the question. One is controlling means not totally stopping. So not totally stopping eating, through tongue we taste, no, and then not totally stopping through eyes the outside world, not totally stopping to listen to something. So that is for to hold this body, sharira dharanartham, sharira poshanartham, whatever is necessary, whatever is in a righteous way. So there is nothing harm in taking those things from outside, but something which is wrong, that must not be done. That is one way. And one more is, without taking any of these external materialistic things, one can be happy, which is called as atindriya ananda or indriyatita ananda. So what is that indriyatita ananda? It is a person feeling or experiencing happiness without tasting any delicious food, or without seeing anything that is really entertaining or great, and without listening to any good thing, without touching to something which is really pleasant. So without any external factors, one who gets paramananda, that is height of happiness, the ultimate happiness. So that is called as atindriya anubhava, one totally independent of the indriyas, the happiness which is totally independent of the happiness. Atmaneva tushtaha. We have studied in Sthita Prajna Shlokas of second chapter. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha, being happy by oneself and within oneself. Atmana, by oneself. So, in the same way, here also, if one can experience that happiness, indriyatita anubhava, indriyatita ananda, then he can be very easily become very independent, and uh, he can be happy irrespective of the outside circumstances. So that's why what Krishna says is, kill that desire, kill that kama, which is destroyer of your knowledge. So if you want happiness, kill that kama first, says Krishna. Mahodaya, agre patatu.
अस्तु महोदय। इन्द्रियाणि पराण्याहुः इन्द्रियेभ्यः परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः यो बुद्धेः परतस्तु सः।
धन्यवाद महोदय. इंद्रियाणि पराणि प्लस आहुः, इंद्रियेभ्यः परं मनः मनसः तु परा बुद्धिः बुद्धिः यः बुद्धेः परतः तु सः. This is the sandhi splitting, sandhi vichedana. Indriyani parani ahuhu. It is said that indriyas are superior or indriyas are great. And then indriyebhyaha param manaha. Compared to indriyas, more superior is manas. And then manasastu para buddhihi. Compared to manas, buddhi is still more great, still more superior. And then buddhehe parataha. Compared to buddhi, there is one more, which is the ultimate superior thing. What is that? Saha. He means Atma. So, what he says is, the ultimate superior thing is Atma only. And then one by one, he says, senses are superior, and that compared to the body, senses are superior to that of the body, the mind superior to the senses, the intellect superior to the mind, and the Atman is superior to intellect. So we'll see one by one. Indriyani. So first he says that Indriyani, they are great. Yes, no doubt they are great, because through Indriyas only the establishment of the connection or the communication happens to the outside world. So through the Indriyas, through the mouth, through the nose, only through this a communication is established between us and the outside world. So these are like the front gates, the openings. So these are, no doubt, these are the important things, and they are great. And then these Indriyas, they are always flowing towards the materialistic things, Vishaya Vastus. They're always running towards that. Like how the water always flows from higher level to lower level, in the same way, the Indriyas are always seeking to satisfy the desires, to satisfy the sense organs will be there, no? So eyes, taste, buds, and all those things. So always it will be moving towards that. And majority of people, majority of population, so what happens is, they're always slaves of these Indriyas, all of us. And it's like we are always on the we have seen no village, in villages or in some houses, there will be one bench outside the house, or we can say it as portico. There is some bench. So some people, so usually those who don't have work, or retired people, or old people, or children, though most of the day they'll be sitting on the bench outside. So like that, we people, the Atma is inside our body, but we never go inside and see Atma. We are always on that bench, which is on the portico. We are always enjoying these things through sense organs. So we are so engrossed in this vapara of these senses. So, and then many of us till the end will not realize the Atma which is within our body, will never go inside at all, and will finish our Sharira Yatra. So this is what happens through these senses. Most of the life goes in satisfying the desires. So that is about indriyani. And what is next? Indriyebhyaha param manaha. So this manaha is superior to indriya. Manaha, though it is invisible, it is sukshma, it is subtle, yet it is powerful. It is much more powerful than all these indriyas. So indriyas act according to the instructions given by mana. So suppose mind is thinking something, mind is very involved in something, or suppose we are on a phone and talking to someone. It so happens that we don't even notice if someone passes there or someone comes or someone calls us also. Sometimes we are not aware of it because mind is somewhere. This is just an example to show that mind is so powerful. So if mind is not there, we don't even notice what is happening in front of our eyes, or what sounds our ears are getting. That also we won't notice. So mind is so powerful. And also, even though there is nothing in front of our eyes, or nothing to hear, or nothing to taste, nothing to smell, like in the night, in the midnight, suppose we are awake, nobody is there in the room, but then also mind, what it starts, it just takes out something from the memory, and then it just starts experiencing, whether it is good or bad, whether it is happiness or sorrow, but it starts experiencing. So the indriyas don't have this capacity. Indriyas, whatever comes in front of the eyes, the eye reports and forgets. Eye doesn't have any memory. Nose doesn't have any memory. The memory is in the mind. So it is the mind which says that. Last week I have taken the example of Velpuri and the child. So it is the mind which makes the child to go and eat that, not the eyes. The moment the eyes see the next object like bus or road or car or house, it starts reporting that. But it is the mind which was not able to forget that Belpuri. So in the same way, here also, mind is more powerful than the indriyas. And then next is the still more subtler and still more powerful is buddhi. What this buddhi does is, whatever it experiences, it compiles those things, and it tries to make a rule out of it, and it tries to understand how a thing is produced, and what and all one should do to get that, and what are the obstacles in getting those things on the way, and if obstacles are there, how to escape from those. All these things is the job of buddhi. So buddhi is still more subtle. We cannot see buddhi, or we cannot see mind. They are all very sukshma, invisible, subtle, but still very powerful. Buddhi is more powerful than mind. But the thing is, even though buddhi is powerful, buddhi knows more than mind, but buddhi obeys mind. Buddhi is like a driver. Buddhi knows everything, but if the mind gives orders, then buddhi acts. If mind says no, then buddhi will stop. It is like we have seen there in Kathopanishad, I think, I don't know, in the past I might have told this shloka. In Kathopanishad, there is a shloka, Atmanam Rathinam Viddhi, Shariram Rathamevatu, Buddhim tu Saratim Viddhi, Manaha Pragrahamevacha. So the shloka says that, think that your body is a Ratha, and then Atmanam Rathinam Viddhi. The Atma is the owner of the body, and then buddhim tu sarathim viddhi, think that the buddhi is the driver or the sarathi. Manaha pragraham evacha, mind is the control, the rein of the ratha, the controller. So and then in the next shloka it says that indriyas are the horses. So for this body, suppose if we think that this body itself is a ratha, a chariot or a vehicle, then what happens? The indriyas are there, no? They are the horses. Imagine if these indriyas are not controlled. So what happens if the horses are not controlled? Where they will go? So it becomes a disaster if they are not controlled. If there are two horses or five horses used to be there for the chariot earlier. Suppose there are five horses, five sense organs we have, no, Jnanendriyas. So suppose five horses are there. Each one of them will take into different directions, then what happens to the ratha? So it becomes really disastrous. That's why controller is very, very essential there. So what is what is the controller? Manah pragrahamavivacha. Mind is the controller. And what is the role of buddhi? Buddhi is sarathi. Sarathi means driver. So the driver knows the right path. Driver knows the destination. But then also, if the mind driver is like a Google map, it's so perfect, it is so accurate. But its duty is just to tell the mind that this is the right way to go. But if the mind says that no, 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 there is something attractive here, take a turn, then driver must take a turn. So it is the mind which should decide which is right, which is wrong. So mind should not become the slave of the indriyas. Mind should be, it should obey the buddhi, and mind should be the master. It should not be the slave. If it becomes the slave, then it becomes the life, or the ratha, it goes into dangerous places and life becomes horrible or disastrous. That's why Krishna's this shloka from the Kathopanishad, and this Indriyani Parani, what is this shloka is there, no, Ahuhu, it is similar to the shloka from Kathopanishad. That's why it is said that Bhagavad Gita is Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha. So Krishna has taken all the from all the Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the gist of all the Upanishads, and Krishna has churned it, and then he has made it as a Navnita and given us. That's the result, resulted in Bhagavad Gita. It is said. So there are so many shlokas which remind us of the Upanishad shlokas. So Bhagavad Gita is nothing but it is Sara of Upanishads, is gist of Upanishads. Mahodaya, agre patatu.
एवं बुद्धेः परं बुद्ध्वा संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना च हि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम्.
Evam, like this. Buddhehe param buddhva. Buddhva, after understanding what is buddhehe param, what is superior to buddhi. So we have seen in the previous shloka what is superior to buddhi, that is saha. Saha means he. Who is that he? That is atma, which is within ourselves. So one should understand which is the ultimate superior thing. That should be understood. Evam buddhehe param buddhva atmanam atmana samstabhya. So controlling oneself by oneself, atmanam atmana. And then he mahabaho, he Arjuna, durasadam kamarupam shatrum jahi. Krishna says durasadam, which is very difficult to win. And then what is that? Kamarupam, shatrum, the enemy which is in the form of kama and which is very, very difficult to defeat. That shatru you defeat, you destroy that shatru, even though it is difficult to destroy him. But because you are Arjuna, that's why he's telling Mahabaho. So you are so valorous, you are so parakrami, so you can destroy, you can defeat this enemy. So first defeat the enemy within you and then come for the war in Kurukshetra, then definitely you can defeat the outside enemies. Well, first thing is you defeat the inner enemies. So he says, know the Atman to be the much superior than intellect. Evam buddhehe param buddhva. Restrain your senses by the wisdom of self and destroy that enemy which is unseizable. That enemy is desire or kama. So we have seen in the previous shloka that we people are still in the portico. We have not even entered. So now what we should do, we should start the inward journey. What is there inside? We should know, we should identify the Atma which is within ourselves. So how to identify, how to see that? We have seen that is to see Bhagwan or to see Atma within us. What should be done? Chitta Shuddhi should be done. So we have seen that Dhumena avriyate vannihi, we have seen, like how the fire is covered by smoke and then the mirror is covered by dust particles. So our Atma is covered by Ajnana. So if we can remove that, if we can clean that, if we can make Chitta Shuddhi, then we can see the Atma which is within. So we need to understand that Atman, we need to identify that Atman, and we need to know that that Atman is not having any body, he is never born, he will never die, and he is the only person, one who will be there always. So every day ever, so only he is there. And then we people, all these bodies, we know that they all get destroyed one day, and all these are transient, but still we are day and night working for this body. And what is not ours, we are thinking that that is ours, and we never question who am I. And then uh, Krishna says, or in Bhagavad Gita it said that there is nothing as weird as this, because we never question who am I. And I know that what I'm not, I know that I'm not this body, but then also I know everything about this body, and which I should know. I don't pay any attention for that. What I should know, who am I? But I pay least attention to that. Who I am not, I'm not this body, but I pay all attention to that. So what is very very transient, very, what is very very temporary, the things that we throw into the dustbin like a torn piece of cloth, we throw our body like that here. So our body is thrown like just like a torn piece of cloth. This house, we have to throw it here only. Our children, the money, whatever we have earned, everything we have to throw here. And then the things that we're throwing here, we are protecting them day and night. We are putting all our energy, time to earn that, to protect that, even though we know that we are throwing those things one day here, but then also we are putting all our time, energy, and mind, everything into that. So Krishna is telling that the important thing that we should understand in the life is Atma Vastu. And then the upadhis of that, that is what and all costumes, what and all bodies will be getting. And then the important thing is, once we know about this body, we should know about Indriya, Manasu, and Buddhi. We have seen, no, Indriya is the visible thing, and then Manasu is Sukshma, subtle, and Buddhi is still more subtle and superior to that, and superior to Buddhi is Atma. And then Krishna says, Samstabhya Atmanam Atmana. So control the mind by mind, he says. So we have to defeat the bad mind with the good mind, defeat the bad samskara with the good samskara. It's like, suppose we have done loan, then what we should do? We should earn money, no, more and more money we should earn. In the same way, if we have done sin, what we should do? We should do more and more good deeds. And it should be done only by me. Nobody comes in this spiritual path. It's only me and me alone. Whatever I have done, so suppose it is sin, then I only have to give that debt. It's a loan. So I only have to make it zero. That is, earn more, earn, do some good deeds, and balance that. And I have the energy to destroy everything, and I have the energy to elevate myself. I have the capacity to destroy myself, and I have the capacity to elevate myself. So all these days, by giving uh, support to these desires and other things, we have seen how we have destroyed ourselves. So now we should pay attention to elevate ourselves. So we have to come out of the clutches of this kama, krodha, mada, moha, matsara, all those things. So like how when in taming of the elephants, what they do is they catch the elephants, and then they bring the tamed elephants to tie the elephants that are caught. For that, to tie that with the rope, they take help of tamed elephants. So it is only elephants who can tame the elephants. In the same way, for our bad samskaras, to delete those things, we have to do good samskaras. So Atmanam Atmana. So by ourselves only we have to improve. So it's not any other people can do it. So Atmanam Atmana, by oneself, oneself should elevate himself. Uddharedat manatmanam. So in the same way, how we should destroy the Shatru? This Shatru is Kama Rupi, says the shloka. What is Kama? Always thinking that I want this, I need this, I still more, still more, still more. Some materialistic things. Or someone should praise me, someone should love me. So all these things are Kama only. And then what happens? This Kama, it's always demanding some Vishaya Vastus, this, or anything. And then if we don't supply that, because all these days we are supplying, no, whatever that Kama asks, we are supplying. So if we don't, if we suddenly stop, then what happens? It troubles a lot. It's not less than Yamayatana, it is said. So then sometimes to get to just escape from this trouble, we just again supply for that Kama. So then what happens? Will it stop? No. So again it comes, and then again it keeps troubling. So that's why Krishna says that it is durasadam, durjayam. It is very, very difficult to defeat this Kama. It is because suppose if you kick him out in one form, he will again come, he will come in disguise. He will wear some, he will come in some other form. If you kick him from the door, he will come from the window. If you kick him from the window, he'll come from the ventilator, it seems. Like how in olden days, or when in our childhood, we used to hear some stories of these Rakshasas, no? They do Maya, Yuddha, and all those things. So Maricha also in Ramayana, we know that he takes the form of deer and comes in front of Sita. So in the same way, this Kama is having the capacity to take different forms. Suppose I say that, okay, I will give up the desire on money. So I'll become Vairagi and I'll donate all my money. I don't want money. Suppose if I say with great difficulty, if I give up the desire of money, but it that karma comes in different way. It makes me to uh, get moha on adhikara. Or if I give up that attachment with power, then it comes in another form. I may become victim of the attachment to the fame. So I have donated so much of money, I have given up my position also, so let me get name at least, because I have sacrificed so many things. So the man thinks that I should get name. Okay, I will get detachment from my children, I'll get detached. Then what happens? Attachment develops with grandchildren. So it is like this only. So if we give up something, so it comes in other form. So without our knowledge, it comes and attacks us. That's why Krishna says that it is durjaya, it is very difficult. But no need to feel disappointed. It's not that Krishna is told that it is difficult, but it's not impossible. It is, even though it is so difficult, there are so many people like Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, and Buddha, Mahavira, Ramakrishna Paramahansa. There are so many people, still many more may be there. Many are there. So those who have defeated this Shatru. It's only that is try again and again. So we all know that this is a famous saying, try again and again. So it is relevant for the Laukika Kshetra also, but it is more relevant in the Adhyatmika Kshetra. Like how we clean and mop our house every day, in the same way in Adhyatmika Kshetra also, every day we should deliberately kick these Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara. Every day we have to throw them out. So it is a continuous habit, continuous practice. Only then we can get inner peace. So all these things are to get inner peace and to get knowledge. So this is the end of this third chapter, Karma Yoga. So it says that in the struggle of this Adhyatmika path, Adhyatmika life, one should come out of this karma, which is very, very important. And there are so many other things. So next chapter, it is about jnana. So we'll be starting it next week. धन्यवाद सर्वेभ्यः. भगिनी और महोदय मङ्गलश्लोकं वदति वा?
अस्तु भगिनि.
हा.
ओके, ओम तत्सदिति भगिनि, यू टेल.
या Rajalakshmi Bhagini will say.
Raji Bhagini, can you tell Om Tatsaditya or Prabhakanta?
अस्तु महोदय। ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे कर्मयोगो नाम तृतीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।
ओके भगिनि, मङ्गलश्लोक वदामि। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तसन्मङ्गलानि भवन्तु। धन्यवादः।